American Timelines is a member of the Queen City Podcast Network. Find out more at queencitypodcastnetwork.com.
So now I'm obsessed with time. Come on, tell me about the time. Had it all in my hand tonight. Had the time of my life. When the words all come down like blues on Tuesdays gone down. Throw it all away. Throw it all away.
Welcome to another episode of American Timelines by History for Jerks. You may recall last episode that art star Joe, Hunter, and Gruff were discussing July of 1944, and they were actually haunted by the ghost of Charles Nelson Riley, as they mentioned that he survived the Hartford Circus fire. If you missed it, go back and listen. It was creepy AF. But now, let's get into this episode as our tattoo-covered, kilt-clad pal named Gruff tells us about the mysterious death of an Arab Druze singer-actress, and Hunter, the four-eyed millennial pilot, tells us all about Operation Valkyrie.
And we're going to jump from there. We're going to just jump all the way to July 14th, even though somewhere in there, who did I say was born? The guy from, who's the guy that was canceled that was born that same?
Oh, Jeffrey
Tambor.
Oh, Jeffrey Tambor. I don't know. Yes, I don't know if he's
Arrested Development. And Transparent. Wasn't he on Transparent?
Yeah,
He was born on July 8th.
Oh, was it July 8th?
Yeah, he was born on July 8th, the same day that Takeo Takagi died, Japanese admiral.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, do you guys love Jeffrey Tambor? Who wants to guess what city in California he was born in?
Palo Alto.
Nope. San
One of my
Francisco.
favorite cities. Best fish tacos in the state.
San Bernardino.
San Francisco.
Oh, it was a saint.
July
One of the
9th.
Saint cities.
The Battle of Saipan ended. July 10th. Nothing happened July 11th. Where were we going? July
14th.
July 11th was the 12th Major League Baseball All-Star Game.
Hey, that's nice.
Oh, Theodore Roosevelt Jr. died on July 12th, Wednesday.
Teddy.
Teddy too.
Teddy too. And then that brings us to July 14th.
July 14th, 1944. A car carrying a two-door sedan carrying two women and driven by one man careened off the road into essentially what would you call it?
A ravine?
Canal? Like they say a
Canal?
canal, but I keep on picturing a ditch, but
I think it's pronounced canal.
when it went into a canal to the side of the road. These two women went canal on the side of the road, and they never were heard from again. They're presumed unconscious.
There's
But
two
died.
women in this vehicle?
Two women were in this vehicle, and
And
a male and a man that was driving. He escaped.
And this is in America?
No, this is in Mansoura, Egypt.
Oh, this is American
Yeah.
timelines, you idiot.
Oh,
Sorry, I told you to cover this story just so
Yeah.
I could say that.
okay, cool.
No, it's okay. Well, this is global timelines.
No, I mean, it's
Okay,
fine.
so that's all that happened. End of story. That's it. That's all you got.
Well, I mean, yeah, these two women died under, and then it was like, oh no, it's kind of mysterious because one of them was this famous Egyptian singer and film star.
Ah, bury the lead.
Yeah, no, I was underplaying it.
Yeah.
Like the people were like, hey man, the Germans killed her because she worked with the Americans, she worked with the French and the British. And then people were like, no, it wasn't the Germans that killed her. It was the French and the British that killed her because she went to work with the Germans. They're like, what the fuck?
So so it's kind of related to World War II.
Well, it's very much related to World War II. Yeah. No, she was
but she was an actress.
She was an actress, primarily a singer who showed up in a couple of movies.
Okay.
Showing up
Was
in
it Matahara?
No.
I was messing with you.
I know. It was Asmahan. That was her stage name. Her real name, Amal al-Atrash.
That's her given name.
That's her given name.
But her stage name is what is it again?
Asmara. Asmahan. Asmahan.
And she was a big deal.
She was a pretty big deal. She was born in Syria,
Okay.
in a small Druze village of Sawadia. She's the second cousin to a sultan who,
Ooh.
back during the French occupation, because Syria was I almost called it a division of France, like it was a corporation, but no, it was a colony of France.
Okay. Oh, it was.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
back
something
before
else.
the war.
Okay.
So she was related to one of the, her family was one of the larger families that dealt directly with France, and they were cool until some guy who was a friend of her second cousin's, who was a sultan, decided he wanted to, fuck with the French colonizers, then ran to him for safety. So they rousted him out and sent bombs to that village. So this woman's mom fled to Damascus, the capital city, much to the chagrin of the males in the family. And then she went from there to Lebanon, then through Palestine into Egypt.
Okay.
Then when she was in Egypt, she drew the attention of some famous composers because of her really good singing voice.
Oh.
So either at the age of 14 or 17, considering no one really knew how old she was because she would often lie about her age, when it grew into a career singing traditional Egyptian music, and she did well for herself, and she got some, got some fame.
Yeah.
Was able to move in between places fairly well. So by the time the 40s roll around and World War II rolls around,
She's a star. She's an international star.
yeah, kind of a regional star, yeah.
Yeah.
But she, the Nazis have taken over Syria and her old village, and the French and the British want to pass through her village.
Okay.
Now the French understand that the last time they fucked with that village, they bombed it. They don't want any hard feelings because that was then and this is now.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey man, you go talk to your people. Let us pass through. We'll give you some cash. She said, cool.
Okay.
She went to talk to the people. Not all of them agreed. Some of them still took shots at the French, but they got through and everything was cool.
So they're all trying to use her as a diplomat, sort of like a
yeah, not
a
kind
star.
of like a diplomat.
Like she's a
just
star.
kind of
They're
a
asking her to
go-between.
be a
Well,
go-between.
a lot of
Wow.
a lot of people in her position
Yeah.
are often used as go-betweens for government entities because they can pass from one area to another without even being looked at twice.
Freely. Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So she goes there, does what she can to set up the meeting and set up the pass-through. The pass-through happens. Everything's cool. Checks start not clearing. So she's running out of money.
Ooh.
Now she still has contacts with the Germans that were in control before. So she goes to the Germans and says, hey, well, before she goes to the Germans, she goes to the French and the British, and the French and the British say, yeah, no, we gave you the money. We saw ourselves give you the money. And if that's not good enough, too fucking bad. So she kind of went, well, fuck off. And then she went to the Germans.
Mhm.
And trying to make contact with the Germans, people got pissed, and she ended up, taking it canily.
She ended up in a canal.
Full circle.
She ended up in a canal.
Wow.
Why couldn't not? It was really well done.
It was
Yeah,
set
it
up
was
for you
good.
there.
Yeah,
Taking
no,
a canal. Yeah.
it was teed up.
Yeah,
But
it was teed up.
that's. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more detail because there's a lot of humans involved.
Yeah.
But that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
That was the gist of it. Just a woman who wanted to enjoy some freedom,
Mhm.
being ground by the machine of the patriarchy. That's all,
And do we have investigations? Did they ever solve it? Like, do we
No,
know who?
no,
No.
no.
No. Still questions.
Well, I mean, why? What? No, no one really cares. I mean, I imagine they're locally. There's more talk about it, but the general thing is, yeah, no, it's someone get ground up by the gears of rich people.
But you didn't travel to Syria to try to
No,
investigate?
it's really hard to get the time off work. Retail's a bitch, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah.
Especially this time of year.
It is. Yeah.
People like to use that as an example of one of the many ways, one of the many small ways that things have not necessarily gotten out of hand, but stayed the same.
Did you did you look her up at all? I looked up there's videos of her on YouTube.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
She sings really good. I mean, I can't understand anything she's saying, but
No, like the thing about her is that she did sing in various dialects. She broadened traditional Egyptian music, and she brought a definite Central Eastern flair to it.
yeah.
She did a lot for her family and sent money back to the village. But when her movies got back to the village, men from her village threw rocks and shot at the screen because she was an example of one of those. Oh, what was the word? I keep on thinking uppity, but no, she was one of those women that thought they were equal.
One of those.
They didn't like that. Yeah.
Well, no, because that's not how God put it. God's a dude.
Yep.
Therefore, dudes are in charge.
Yep.
That's one thing all the Abrahamic ones have in common.
Cool.
Her father's cousin was the Sultan al-Atrash. They were members of the Druze tradition, which is a more Unitarian version of Muslim. They're more Unitarian Muslims.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just got an alert on my phone that the museum that's literally behind my house, one of the log cabins, it's an 1840s log cabin at the Waxhaw Museum, is on fire.
Holy shit.
There was a bunch of
Drenched in
sirens
gasoline
earlier.
and paraffin wax.
Yeah.
Well, it was a good waterproofing thing. And
Yeah,
it helped
I
with the
heard.
tar that's in the
The
resin that's in the wood.
Yeah, another fire. And I was just talking about a fire. That's weird. Okay. And now we're going to jump all the way to Hunters. We're going to fast forward from 14th all the way to July 20th, which is like probably the most famous thing that happened this month.
I was excited for this one.
Yeah,
Dude,
this is
I
a
got
big-
to I got to watch
get
I got to
Tom
watch
Cruise
a movie for it.
I'll say I'm so glad you decided to cover it because I was like, somebody has to do this because this is a big deal. But I don't.
Have you seen the movie?
No, I haven't, but I know it's. I read.
It's
I
good.
started reading what
It's really
happened.
good.
Is it good? When did the movie come out, and what movie is it?
Like 2008. Yeah, 2008. It's called Valkyrie. starring Tom
yes,
Cruise.
Valkyrie is Tom. Am I right?
Yeah,
Am
He's
I
got all
right?
the
he
right
doesn't
moves.
run. He doesn't run in the entire film,
Well,
which
that's
is
'cause he's-
wild
Yeah,
for a
it's 'cause
Tom
he's-
Cruise movie.
Does he walk quickly?
So
There is a point where he does walk very quickly.
Yeah, no, that
There may be a
determined-
bomb involved.
Yeah,
I almost wanted to pick it because I am a big Tom Cruise fan, even though everyone doesn't like him.
So what's the
They
name
judge
of the
his
movie?
character, Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
I separate the man from the
Much like Tessa
Scientology.
Thompson's character in the Marvel universe.
Ah,
Yeah,
And
she's.
there's another
the
show
best.
recently that came out that's I think almost about the exact same subject matter.
Apparently, there's a YouTuber named Valkyrie that comes up. Valkyrie.
It's like bombing you with that. So today we're gonna go inside one of the most audacious inside jobs in modern history. A plan by German officers to kill Hitler with a briefcase bomb and then hijack their own army's emergency plan to overthrow the regime from within. Do you guys believe in the butterfly effect?
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
You know,
I enjoy
the
if
whole
I-
a butterfly flaps its wings and it changes
If I
course of
choose
the
to
world.
believe
All
in
of
math,
history.
I have to. Yeah.
This so this is, I feel like, prime case example for how one or even two tiny little things can cause a domino effect or a waterfall of things going wrong. So let's set the stage here. So uh summer 1944, Germany is now on the defensive, and the Allies have just dropped almost 1 million troops into Normandy. The Soviets are advancing from the east, and there's growing panic within the German officer corps. They already kind of knew that things were not going great, but things have really hit the fan. Germany's completely on the back foot, and they're basically starting to realize, like, hey, like, we're gonna lose this war. Like, we need to be suing for peace. But at this point, Hitler is still fully in charge and committed to taking down the entire Reich with him. In comes Operation Valkyrie. So originally, the operation was a Nazi emergency plan. So if there was any major bombing, chaos, or a revolt of like a labor revolt of sorts, if it were to threaten the order of the regime, the reserve army in Germany. So you've got, like, the majority of the army is kind of split three ways. So you've got the Eastern Front with the USSR. You have the Italian front, where now essentially by mid-July, Italy is gained back by the Allies. And then you have a new front in Normandy, where Germany took about, I think, around a sixth or a seventh of their troops that were fighting in Russia, and brought them over to Normandy super fast, as quick as they could, to be able to resist the Allies that were landing there. There's none of this involves any sort of assassination, no like internal resistance group. This is just how the Nazis would maintain continuity of government, kind of the same way that, like, when we have a State of the Union, we have a guy that doesn't attend the State of the Union, just in case something happened at the State of the Union. We got to have one guy left alive. He's the president. He's in charge. He
Designated
continues.
survivor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
That other
the thing.
Kiefer Sutherland show.
Yes. So then
Lost
a group
Boys.
of officers within the army basically decide, let's rewrite this. So the conspirators secretly rewrote orders within Operation Valkyrie. The crazy part was they had to get Hitler to sign this. So one of the main guys, who we'll get to all of the conspirators here in a second, but one of the main guys, he was a German war hero. Everyone liked him, and they basically sent him in to talk to Hitler, and he was like, "Hey, like, I did some editing on this document. I think it's there were just a few typos. I want to make it look good." And Hitler was like, "Oh, yeah, you're a great guy. The whole country loves you." And he signed it, no questions asked. In the movie with Tom Cruise, basically, like, walks into Hitler's office. Hitler's like, "Oh, hey, good to see you, man. Oh, thanks for doing that," and then signs it. Perfectly fine. So essentially, the cover story for this coup would be that the SS, Hitler's private military police, are staging a coup. Not the resistance group. They're going to make it look like the SS is doing it.
Okay.
And then through Operation Valkyrie, they will use the reserve army to seize control of the government and arrest the Secret Service. So the people within the reserve army were going to think like, hey, like I'm saving the country. Like they would have no idea that this was being orchestrated from within. And basically the only way for Valkyrie for this to gain legs is for the Fuhrer, Hitler, to be either dead or incapacitated. So they had to have some sort of a way to restore order, and so loyal officers would think that they're saving the regime when in reality they're helping to overthrow it. So here we have the conspirators. Klaus von Stauffenberg, as I said, a German war hero, and who would eventually be the carrier of the bomb intended to assassinate Adolf Hitler.
Is that who Tom Cruise
That's
played?
Tom. Yeah, of course. Come on, he's the most handsome guy in the group.
He is.
Yeah.
I didn't know. He could have been Albrecht.
Is that guy also under 4 feet tall like Tom Cruise?
Whoa, dude.
I don't know how tall he was.
You of all people hate on short people, man.
We
Sorry,
have
I'm a short guy myself.
Ludwig Beck. I'm blanking on who plays him, but as the former Army Chief of Staff.
Assisinate.
Friedrich Ulbricht. Can you guess who plays him? Any guesses? I feel like they casted it perfectly.
Phil Collins.
He looks like the guy who played what's his name?
David
Clarence
Thewlis.
Boddicker? Who plays
Bill
Clarence?
Nye.
Oh, Bill Nye.
Ooh,
Really?
Bill Nye.
nice.
Nye.
Yeah.
Nye.
Nye as in Nye, the night is long.
Oh. Nye.
And then
Not Bill Nye
we
the Science
have-
Guy.
No.
not Bill Nye the Science.
Fuck that.
What
then.
else? What all is he in?
I will not. I hereby refuse to ever see a movie again that doesn't have Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Whoa,
in it.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, stamp. General Zod.
Oh,
what?
General
Jared,
Zod.
stop. Wait,
Zod was Ludwig
wait.
Beck. That was Zod.
Nice. All right.
Wait, what? No.
Jared,
I
Zod,
don't
yeah,
think
General
so.
Zod. Yeah.
Art just
Yeah.
looked it up.
God from
Neun
Superman.
Yeah.
Art looked it up with a smart
Yeah.
device. A
Yeah.
device he has the special device that's connected to the
And
interwebs.
Tom Wilkinson was Frederick Albrecht.
Wait, you have one of those devices too? It's connected to the interwebs?
I do.
I'm questioning you, or
Yeah.
You guys
Bruh.
should all, for the sake
Bruh.
of the podcast, you guys should all keister your phones.
oh, in Superman. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking
Oh, the new
Forgot.
one.
Man of
Aren't you-
Steel.
Yeah.
What are you, a millennial? You're a
Oh my
millennial. right?
God.
Whoa,
Freaking
whoa.
Yeah.
millennials.
You're a
No,
millennial. You're a
Freaking
millennial.
millennial
We used to have a
scum.
common
I have a
Sorry.
friend. I have a
Man of
friend.
Steel.
Millennial
Henry
piece of
Cavill
shit.
I have,
is an American
Millennials.
icon.
I have a friend who
dicks.
only
I do
believes
enjoy Henry
the only
Cavill.
Superman is
You
Superman
just
78.
lost so much of your audience, Joe, and all of
Fuck
your coworkers.
millennials.
Whoa.
Fuck
Man.
employees.
Superman. Wait, you mean Henry Cavill, right?
I'll cut all this
Oh, my
out.
fault. What's the dude's name now? What's his name?
Anal B. Jones?
What's the kid's
Yeah.
name?
What?
Rugged Ronnie
The new-
Garvin?
The new Superman. What's his name? I
Rugged
can't think
Ronnie
of his name
Garvin.
right now.
Oh, I don't know what his
Garvin
name is,
Stump.
but it was a good
Corn
movie.
Corn Sweat. Yeah, Corn Sweat.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
David Corn Sweat. Oh, what his name?
Okay,
Brant-
so anyways,
Brant
and then Henning von Tresco.
Okay, say it again.
played-
Say it again.
Henning von Tresco,
Yeah.
who was played
That's Kenneth
by
Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh
Kenneth Branagh.
from Tenet.
Okay.
Most people know him from his Shakespearean roles, but okay.
So, and there was basically a whole nother like inner circle of this like resistance group within the German leadership that was basically just growing every day. Like as the war was going worse and worse, and they're like, okay, like like we're gonna be fucked if we don't take charge and redirect this. We got to be doing something different. But also like the majority of them until uh, um, Henning was involved, they were very like kind of soft coup. Like they weren't ready to completely replace the government. They just wanted to direct it in a way that would not look so terrible. So, why kill Hitler, right? Like you got a time machine, you can go back in time, and just
Yeah.
take baby Hitler out. So basically, a lot of this comes down to, and this is what's argued in later reviews of the coup, is like, was this actually because of moral objections or just a desire to save both Germany and the army and its leadership's personal honor? And then obviously the fear of military collapse and total ruin, if the Allies and USSR continue to advance without surrender, then eventually Germany would just be absorbed by the USSR and the Allies. And they didn't want that to happen, right? So they were also tied into a wider civilian network with former mayors, diplomats, conservative elites. Most of them were nationalists and conservatives, but just kind of in general, they just all agreed like Hitler's got to go. I don't know how we do it. I don't know whether we got to kill him or not, but he can't be here. And it's, you got a lot of people that were involved in this system for years, who only slowly pivot to, or from we need to win the war to we got to get rid of Hitler. And that, really they only pivot when it becomes apparent that they're not going to come out on top of this. So July 20th, 1944 is planned for Stauffenberg to plant a briefcase bomb at the Wolf's Lair. The Wolf's Lair is kind of like Germany's Camp David, where where high leadership and command would meet in an undisclosed location to be able to discuss war plans, and basically prevent any leaks. Basically if there was a leak, they would know it came from someone there and they could contain it pretty quickly. They were going to assassinate Hitler during a staff meeting with this bomb and then launch Valkyrie to seize power in Berlin. So the script basically looks like Stauffenberg flies to the HQ, gets into the situation conference, arms the bomb, leaves it near Hitler, and then walks out. So you can't just walk out. So I don't know exactly how this worked, but in the movie they had another guy on the inside that was supposed to basically watch and see him go into the meeting, wait 2 minutes, and then call a landline phone so that someone would come in and be like, "Hey, Mr. Stauffenberg, there's a phone call for you that they say it's really important. You have to take," so that he could leave. And then as soon as the bomb goes off, he would fly back to Berlin. Meanwhile, his colleagues would push the button on the rewritten Valkyrie orders. The Reserve Army would seize government ministries, radio stations, and the Secret Service, or the SSHQ, arrest all the top Nazis, and they would announce that Hitler is dead and that the army is restoring order. So, it looks like the army is the good guys, when in reality they've just been duped into thinking that they're doing the right thing, when really they're just assisting a coup.
Yeah.
So this is where we get to the butterfly effect. So originally, it is a small bomb. There's actually 2 bombs in the briefcase for redundancy. They used these World War II era acid timers, where basically there was this metal tube. They crunched one end, and then the acid would start eating through a material, and then when it got to the explosive end of the fuse, that would ignite, and then that ignition would detonate the bomb.
So time bomb. They just time for the acid to eat the.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it was a small bomb, and this meeting was originally planned to be in a large, tight quarters, concrete bunker. So basically, they thought they were like, okay, we only need a small bomb because this is going to be a very contained space, and the containment of this explosion is going to make it so much worse because not only because of the explosion itself, but the pressure that is released would essentially liquefy people's insides. But the butterfly flaps its wings, and because of the heat on that day, there were very high temperatures. They decided to move the meeting from the bunker to a wooden hut. Then, I'm not sure how close the movie is to what actually happened, but I do know that von Stauffenberg only had one arm. After returning from the war, he lost an arm, and while trying to arm one of the bombs, he had help from another guy, but things got kerfuffled, and the other guy had to leave, and he had to try to arm the bomb himself, and he failed at arming the second bomb. And then the third thing that happened was the briefcase. At some point after he left the briefcase next to Hitler, someone moved it behind a table leg. So a literal fucking wooden table leg stopped this bomb from, well, at least from from killing him outright.
Yeah.
So at 12:42, the blast goes off. The wooden table leg the wooden table leg kind of deflects the explosion, and then also combined with it now being in a wooden hut and not a bunker. The wooden hut has lots of windows. The majority of the pressure and the explosion is directed out through that ventilation. 4 people are killed. The room is pretty destroyed, but that thick table leg and the open windows directed the blast away from Hitler. He's injured, but very much alive. So remember I said that there was,
and he's probably very forgiving about this, right?
Oh, totally.
He's understanding.
You know the Fuhrer. I mean, he's so chill.
He's so chill.
So
the Fuhrer. He's so chill.
Part of the plan was basically once the bomb went off, the same guy that made the phone call would cut off all communications with the Wolf Slayer. So so Stauffenberg's on his way out. He's on the run, and he sees the bomb go off. So he assumes,
he thinks it worked.
He assumes that Hitler is dead. He flies back to Berlin, convinced that Hitler is dead. But in Berlin, some officers are getting conflicting messages, rumors that Hitler survived. And basically this entire scheme is working on one assumption, and that is that Hitler has been killed. So there are conflicting reports about his survival. Therefore, the people that are in charge of launching the plan are kind of unsure about doing it, so they delay it for a long time. So they're kind of launched unevenly. So things that were supposed to happen simultaneously aren't, and it's just not going well. Eventually they activate Valkyrie, but late. Some units do arrest SS and Nazi officials. Orders go out across Germany and then start getting canceled as radio broadcasts and phone calls make it clear that Hitler survived. So the Bindler block is the Reserve Army HQ. and becomes the center of the queue. This is where the reserve army and the key leaders of the resistance are working out of. A literal phone call goes to this guy, Major Rimmer, and guess who's on the other line? The Fuhrer, Senior Hitler himself. And so this guy, Major Rimmer, who is in charge of the reserve army, remember who we said we were going to dupe, and he was going to think that he was saving the day, suddenly gets a phone call from his big guy up top that says, hey man, like, I know that you think I'm dead, but I'm not. So you need to stop what you're doing. And so he immediately switches sides after speaking to him.
Can't hear the phrase, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin.
So Major Remmer was going to be the guy who kind of takes over?
He was going to be the guy
No, he was the guy that they were kind of like pegged the takeover on.
Oh, okay.
And then the inner circle of leadership would take it from there. They would install the new government.
Yeah.
After that phone call, he switches sides and suppresses the coup. By nightfall, the conspirators in the Bender block are isolated. The building is surrounded. A brief firefight breaks out, and in the end, several Stauffenberg and several others are arrested right there in the courtyard. So afterwards, the crackdown. Hitler responds exactly the way that you would expect. He launches a massive investigation. Around 5,000 people are arrested. So remember, like, the inner circle of this resistance was really only like at most 20 guys.
Yeah.
But they literally, it's like your secretaries, your mailmen,
your neighbors, your uncles,
neighbors,
uncles,
your
neighbor.
uncles, your family, your whole family. And so that's what it says here. The families were punished under Sippenhaft, 10 liability. Wives, children, and relatives are all imprisoned or sent to camps because of what their husbands or fathers.
So basically, they indicted them.
Yeah.
Oh,
just everybody,
right?
Like a RICO law almost.
Well, Hitler was always paranoid anyway. Now somebody tries to kill him, he's going to put everybody that he doesn't know in jail.
Mm-hmm. So then all trials, if people aren't just like killed immediately, all trials are put before the People's Court, which is a kangaroo court put in place by the Nazis that is basically just for PR, and they're televised, and basically the leader of the People's Court is like screaming and yelling at the basically anyone that's ever sent to the People's Court. The trial's over. Like, it doesn't matter what happens in the trial. It's already been decided. This is just for them to publicly mock and humiliate you. They would humiliate the accused before hanging them, often from meat hooks or with piano wire, and filming it for Hitler to watch. Yeah. It's kind of it gets dark very quickly.
You imagine it would.
So
I mean, there are a lot of great pianists, I suppose, from Germany and Austria in that area.
So I guess what's really kind of crazy is, like, when you look at this in like a long time scale. Questioning, did it really matter? Was this like effective in any way? Obviously, like, militarily, no. Not at
No,
all.
yeah.
Hitler survived. The war goes on for 9 more brutal months
Very.
as the Nazi regime is slowly stamped out throughout Germany. And then also most of the inner circle of this resistance, the people that were kind of keeping it on the rails, are now wiped out. They're completely gone. Symbolically shows that there was some internal resistance, but again, like, this raises questions about, like, was this really for like moral objections?
Yeah, or was it just more or less saving them?
Or was it just like, hey, like we're losing, like, we better like lose well.
You fucking made money off it, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Don't try to,
these guys
your
could have
losses now.
They could have been just as bad and be like, now we're in charge and we're even worse. Maybe. Maybe not.
But I think it comes back to kind of the thing that we were talking about earlier. Like, at what point are you morally obligated to betray the government that you fall under?
Yeah.
Like
no,
because it's a huge, and at what point are you willing to risk your life for it? Because it's one thing to
and it's one thing to risk your life,
we live in a fairly
you're risking
safe
others too.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
it's
your
not
family,
just your life.
your neighbors, the mailman, the secretaries. Like,
my fucking mailman came to visit me at work today. Shit like that.
So, but and then finally, kind of post war and today. Like I said, I watched the movie Valkyrie. Everyone should watch it. It's very good. And there's another movie made by a German filmmaker called Stauffenberg, which same thing is based around the oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Our rules. You're a mess.
Sorry. So finish that last sentence because I just distracted you. Sorry.
It is like being in school again, Joe.
Yeah. Watch one of the movies. It's great. And I really like the English one, the Tom Cruise one. I think it's really good. It has been kind of there's a few things in it that people say they took creative liberties on, but I think overall it's fairly accurate, and it gets the point across, which I think is the important part. July 20th is now a resistance commemoration date in Germany, and there is also a memorial in the Bindler block where the German resistance army held out, and the quote listed there, and obviously this is translated from German, but it's also shown at the end of the film, and it's here in the former Army High Command. Germans organized the attempt to overthrow the lawless National Socialist regime on July 20th, 1944. For this, they sacrificed their lives. And I think, again, it gets back to what were they actually sacrificing and who were they sacrificing it for? Again, we talk about the amount of lives they sacrificed, around them, and at a point where it was too late. I wouldn't say too little, because they gave their lives, and what they attempted was pretty insane overall. But they seem to only morally object once we'd gone beyond the pale.
Once they're already losing,
Yeah, once they realized it wasn't going to go in their favor, that's when they morally objected.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point at the party before they said, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't."
Well, it really makes you wonder, how different would the end of World War II have been if they succeeded at this point?
Well, Germany would have retained more land.
That's the movie.
It would have been a haven for racists.
That's the TV show, and there's a book called The Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, but those are if they won.
What's it called?
Those are if they won. The Man in the High Castle.
The Man in the High Castle. If the Nazis had won.
Yeah, but that's what if they
Wolfenstein.
Well, I'm saying
that's
what if
the
they
Nazis
had just
wouldn't have won necessarily?
what if they ceded for peace and just reestablished essentially the Holy German Empire,
Yeah.
pre-Prussian shit. Because that's what you got to think of, where they were coming from, the government that they wanted to establish, not the world domination,
Yeah.
but what they would have been happy with would have still been a lot of Central fucking Europe.
Yeah. So I put a couple questions up here. Like when, like we talked about, like when
You
when
put
do
some
make that
questions
decision?
where?
Not,
Since there's not-
for you guys, posed to you guys for us to discuss.
Yeah.
When is it right to betray a criminal regime? Which I think, like, Joe, you and I have talked about before,
Yeah.
In some of our historical podcasts, like the amount of loyalty that existed in World War II and like service to your country, I don't believe exists today anymore.
Oh,
and so I
Well,
I question.
you don't.
So
Yeah.
I question,
yeah.
could we get to that point? But
Yeah.
also at the same time, that sort of loyalty, like you also don't have that loyalty to your fellow man anymore, which is where I think a lot of that loyalty was based, especially on the Allied side of things.
Well, it's,
on both sides, it was the fellow man. It's just what you considered your fellow man.
Yeah. Yep.
It's kind of scary how
fatherland and motherland were very big on different sides of that war.
Mhm.
Sorry, go on, Joe.
I would say it's really crazy how poignant this is right now when you ask the question, when is it right to betray a criminal regime? We have a criminal regime in charge of our country right now. And it's in the news right now where Trump is upset because of Mark Kelly telling the military that you
don't have to follow illegal orders.
And if you think about how they behaved under the Biden regime, they decided it was right to betray then.
Right.
Which is how we got here.
So it's weird how this is pointed.
I mean, not really. If you realize that the only thing that changed was robes to khakis in the 80s, kids.
Yeah, that's right.
We've been denying a reality that art lives in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You got a good point.
I mean, there's money behind it, and there always has been. And especially in this country, and especially in countries in South America.
It's easier for us to just ignore it and turn on Disney Plus.
Benefit from it, yeah.
Play a video game and.
Well, I think it's. I would disagree, Joe. I think it's very hard in our city. I think
it's getting harder.
We all know people. We all know businesses now. As kind of, I would say, privileged white Americans. We're on the nice. But
says the pilot who went hunting today.
But are also, like, in this situation, the one we're currently talking about, where ICE agents are coming in, it's not your group that they're coming after either. But we all know those people.
There's a situation of brewing. There's a situation of brewing in Minnesota. Where he's going after the Somalians.
He's going after Somalians.
But so, the same thing with the Haitians back at what was the town where they kept saying that they were eating cats and dogs, like just lying.
Cleveland
and
Detroit, dude.
the same sort of
it goes back to Ohio.
The same sort of language that Hitler was using with the Jews in Germany.
Our Ohio,
making up lies about people that they did not even people that he didn't like, but like easy scapegoats.
Anyone,
just anyone that he could point to raise a rabble.
Well, and anything that's just out there.
Germany for suppressing neo-Nazi bullshit.
Yeah, that too.
That's why is it still poignant? Yeah, dude.
Just spread as much hate and fear as they possibly can.
I'm just like.
So your next question was: is a failed coup still a success?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I think kind of like what I was talking about, where like obviously it failed militarily.
Yeah.
But does it show that there were good people within, people that wanted, and I think that like that raises the moral question, and we don't know. We can't get inside those people's minds. We can't know like, you know, at what point they broke, or at what point like, you know, they said no, this is a bridge too far. But you know, I think it is a success. I think it at least shows that there was question there.
If you can push a madman into a corner to get to the end result, which is always fire, which is always explosions,
always ends in a blaze.
Yeah, it doesn't end well. You know, that's from the point of view from the people that won and wrote about it. You know. So I think in that way it's a success.
Well, what I've done in that position, that's your last question. I would have done it on a colder day, so it would be in the bunker.
I would have depended more on our weather services. They had good weather services, you know.
Did they have that good of weather services?
I don't know.
I don't know. My whole thing is like, I marvel at just the planning. It was failed, and there was meticulous planning and plan, you know, how to do this and where to get this, and so many people involved. And you have to
there's a line.
So much chaos.
There's a line in the movie where they like Stauffenberg is talking to the guy that it's a British guy that is showing them how the bomb and the acid fuse works.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I think he says it has like a 70% success rate. That's why there's 2 bombs.
Oh my gosh.
And he says, well, like, you know, like, you don't have anything better than this. And he says, this is top of the line, like the best that we have. And I think the line is, you have small and you have good. You don't get both. Like because they needed it to be small to fit in a briefcase.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like,
and
that kind of thing still like,
dude.
that still applies like today. Like, you know, as technology advances, there's always like,
dude. You have small or you have good.
So in hindsight, of course, hindsight's 2020, but couldn't there have been like, okay, you have the bomb, and this is of course hindsight. It killed everyone except Hitler, right, in that room.
Mm-hmm. Not everyone. It only killed 4 people.
Oh, so there was other people alive. So I'll say, they killed everybody but Hitler. He comes out. Just have one guy with a gun there in case he gets out. Like just.
Well, yeah, like no, Stauffenberg was so
back on the
focused
phone.
on. He was so focused on like getting out and being alive,
out, escaping, because that's another.
The guy that makes the phone calls, he should have been the guy with the gun.
But here's the thing: is like part of it was that like it had to be set up to look like the SS.
That's the thing. It had to. That's the hard.
So
part
like, so if anyone saw Stauffenberg, you know, the bomb fails and he has to pull a gun out and shoot Hitler.
Yeah, I know.
They know it's
not
the SS. Yeah,
it's true. Yeah,
but if it's the guy from the phone, and then Stauffenberg kills him. All right, time machine.
That's the only way to fix this.
What if you take time machines don't take you back to your reality? What if it takes you back to a parallel?
That's it.
So
that's
when you kill baby Hitler, he's the successful artist.
Why didn't it just get Colonel Hogan to do it?
Oh, because he was working in the camps. He had his own gig, dude. That was a well-oiled machine.
Why were there so many comedies about Nazis?
I know nothing. I see nothing.
Fooling Nazis.
Well, there was. Well, I guess also, you know, like if the war ends, then you know, and that regime is allowed to sue for peace, you know, like, do you have the same amount of, like, I don't know if
you don't have the same technological advances the way they panned out.
That, but like what I was gonna get at is like the disdain for the Nazi government that is built over those next 9 months.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like within Germany, because at that point, like, you still have a lot of people that are like within Germany that are like, like I'm a conservative, and they haven't come for my friends yet or me. Right. So
I still believe in the fatherland. I'm fine with that.
Like, Yeah. You know,
Well, it survives.
I think they
survived,
have to lose in a bad way.
No, they have to be stomped out. You can't let a Nazi live. If we learned anything from the Daughters of the Confederation, you can't let that shit go. I'm sorry.
right.
I'm a horrible
No,
I'm a horrible person. And the fact that we America was able to accomplish what it accomplished versus fucking the natives of this land because we put boot heels to baby skulls. We didn't, we Shermaned that shit. We took fire to everything because that's, but
not the Confederacy.
No, and not to Nazis.
No, yeah.
Nope, because we suck. Well,
and speaking of
because we support free speech, I guess. To a point. We support free speech to a point that it hurts us. We support the Second Amendment to the point that it hurts us.
Oh yeah, we support drug. No, we don't support drug use to the point
because of laws that some white guys wrote.
Hundreds of years ago,
200 years ago.
Yep.
And we're unwilling to bend those or change them.
Well, that's it. And they I mean, this whole thing is built.
No,
they're willing,
but they're willing to fucking get rid of them. They just want to keep that first 10. They don't want to keep any thereafter. Because women are best when they remember their property.
Well, let's not forget there was Hogan's Heroes, and also there was a sitcom in 1990 called Heil Honey, I'm Home.
Oh,
and it was about
missed that.
Hitler living. It was a British sitcom about Hitler living next door in a suburb. And it was Heil Honey. Yeah, look it up. It's on YouTube. It's ridiculous. We talked about it one of the first episodes of American Timelines I found. I was like, I can't believe this existed.
This
and
is
it had a
thing.
theme song. Heil Honey, Heil Honey, Heil Honey, I'm home. And it's Hitler, and he gets hit with a door and falls down. It's like slapstick Hitler comedy. It's
That's crazy.
Yeah, the things that exist. But that's free speech, and this podcast is free speech. So, thanks for listening to us.
Real quick, I just want to give a couple of birthdays.
Oh yeah,
bring it up. Bring it up a little bit. Bring it up.
Let's end on a higher note.
Birthdays.
Well, I had the date. I forgot. On July 22nd, Sparky Lyle was born. He's a baseball player.
Okay.
Played for the hated Yankees. Oh. And also on July 30th, Jimmy Cliff, Jamaican roots reggae singer.
Nice.
Big up Jimmy Cliff.
Yeah.
No, man. Thank you.
No, thank you for birthdays, Art Star. Yeah.
Thank you for birthdays, and thank you for
Jimmy
Jimmy
you're
Cliff.
on that. That's basically July of 1944 in a
look up some Jimmy
nutshell.
Cliff. Listen to that shit.
In a couple episodes of a nutshell, maybe we'll do this 2 episodes. Maybe
spread out the pain.
Spread it out a little bit. Yeah. But thanks for listening, Time Heads. This has been
Time Heads
by History for Jerks. We are History for Jerks. You're the jerk.
Thank you.
We bring the history.
Jerks.
Part of the Queen City Podcast Network.
That's true.
Are we History for Jerks?
Yep.
Are we American Timelines?
This is American Timelines by
part of history. Yeah, part of History for Jerks.
Yeah.
Time part of here.
The Queen City Podcast Network.
It's time to get out of here.
Get out of here, Chuck Berry.
Get out of here, Chuck Berry. I was waiting for it. I'm like, are we going to do the thing?
Every time.
Now I'm obsessed with time.
You been down on the streets today? Say, now, baby, it's about to get crazy. Everybody's got something to say. We got 10,000 people screaming, oh my God, it's over, but they're never gonna take us away. So you better get believing there's a brand new feeling. If you're asking, I say stay awake. Stay awake.
Matt Truman Ego Trip is the greatest band of all time. Buy their music. American Timelines is a product of History for Jerks. Check out historyforjerks.com for all the other weird and cool shiznit. There's the Gruff and Loud Show, a YouTube show for Gen X weirdos who like pop culture and weird shit. There's also the Deborah Jo Ruppyverse show featuring the mighty art star and Steve Bishop exploring the theory that the actress Deborah Jo Rupp is a Nexus being, and every part she has played is one immortal being. Don't forget about the Nerd School podcast and the Threadless shop where you can buy a Tito Jackson shirt and a Dabney Coleman hat. Only a stupid dumbass wouldn't want a Dabney Coleman hat, and only a wiener bitch wouldn't want a Tito Jackson shirt.